going on, everybody? We just wrapped up converting this Jeep JL Rubicon to the ultimate overlander slash kind of rock crawler setup here. We did a ton of work to this Jeep, upgrading suspension, skid plates, bumpers, but the real highlight of the show is that we converted this to a Ursa Minor pop-up camper. So we'll get into more details about the Ursa Minor later in the video, but let's kick it off and get this thing started up front. Starting off on the front of the Jeep here, we upgraded to the Evo manufacturing stubby bumper here. So this allows us a spot to mount a worn 12.5 winch in here. With the winch here, we have Factor 55 Ultra Hook with a nice red anodized color. It gives a nice splash of color to this all black Jeep. It also gives us a place to mount some Baja Designs fog lights. So we got two of the SE fog lights in here. And then with this nice kind of flat mounting surface, we upgraded this customer to 4 of the Baja Designs LP4 lights. So this thing's packed a ton of light up into a pretty compact space. So yeah, I really like the look of this bumper. It gives me kind of the old A or B stubby kind of look, but this is in an aluminum bumper. So it's gonna be super lightweight, which is really great when you're building out overland vehicles. You definitely wanna be conscious of weight. So really digging this front end setup here. Moving along to wheels and tires, we have a Mickey Thompson Baja Boss in a 37-inch tire wrapped around a method wheel here. Continuing kind of that matte black look with the wheels. I always love an all black Jeep. I think it's kind of a classic look. So really digging this setup. And suspension wise, we have Clayton Off-Road 3.5-inch lift. I believe this is their Overlander series. So we got the Falcon shocks in there, and then we also got some upgraded control arms front and rear. So this Jeep is really set up to kind of tackle whatever kind of trail you can throw at it. Jeeps are a great overland platform because you can kind of take them down any trail, but with the Ursa Minor here on the back, you're gonna be able to camp in comfort. For those overlanders really looking to get out into the backcountry, run the tougher trails, it's really hard to beat the Jeep setup here. Moving down the side of the truck, we upgraded to the Rock Slide engineering sliders. So we really love the Rock Slide products because they give you this full frame-mounted slider, but they also give you the added benefit of having a drop-down step. The step's definitely a lot smaller than the AMP steps, but the ability to actually use these as sliders, we really love that. A lot of kind of power steps out there are just not made to act as rock sliders. So Rock Slide engineering kind of married the two together, creating fully functional sliders, but also allowing a drop-down step. With Jeep on 37s, it's definitely nice having that little step to help you get up in and out. So moving on to the rear, we also matched that front bumper with a Evo manufacturing rear bumper. Again, this is aluminum, has integrated recovery points, has allocations for all the backup sensors and everything. But we really went all out on the interior of the back here. So let's open this up. Then here you get a good look at the Goose Gear rear plate system, as well as their camp kitchen setup. So we have this set up with an angle fridge in here. So go ahead and pull that out. So you have easy access to the fridge. And then the really nice thing about these camp kitchen setups is they also have a bottom drawer for a stove pull out. So you put your camp stove here, have your fridge here, basically perfect overland camp setup. And then it all retracts back into the Jeep and all works really nicely. We also did some electrical work under the hood of this build. So let's get this hood popped open and show you what we did. So now that we got the hood open, we can get a good look at the Genesis Off-Road dual battery kit. So we upgraded this to the dual battery system. So we have the starter battery and the kind of battery to power everything in the truck kind of separated. We did also install the kind of control module in the truck, so you are able to link these together. So if your starter battery ever did die, you can link your auxiliary battery to basically self-jump yourself. Which is a really great feature, and you don't have to open up the hood in order to link them. All that can be controlled within the cab of the vehicle. So that's about it under the hood. We also obviously have a lot of wiring and stuff for the upgraded Baja Designs fog lights and LP4 lights here, but we ran those all through factory upfitter switches, so it has a really nice kind of OEM look. Up inside of the cabin, it is really hard to tell where we made changes and upgrades, and that's kind of the point. We want to keep everything as OEM looking as possible. So starting down here, we upgraded to the factory switch blanks. So this is a Mopar accessory. This Jeep actually didn't have it fitted, so we installed this, and this is how you kind of control all of the fog lights and lights on the front. Moving up here, we also upgraded to RedArc's Tow Pro Manager. This customer does a lot of fly fishing and wanted to be able to tow around a drift boat. So we have the RedArc controller knob right here next to the 12-volt socket. Super kind of discreet hidden location. And lastly, up here near the headliner, we have the button for the Genesis dual battery system. This little LED screen will give you information on the main battery charge, as well as the auxiliary battery charge. And it also allows you to link them together, which we were talking about earlier, which allows you to jump yourself off of your secondary battery. So this is kind of our specialty, is getting everything to integrate in the interior, super factory looking, and the guys really knocked out of the park on this one. Now we're on to the main event of this build, and that is the Ursa Minor pop-up camper. So if you don't know what an Ursa Minor is, it is basically a full replacement hardtop for the Jeep that has a built-in rooftop tent in the top. That's kind of the easiest way to explain it. But our guys at the shop, we removed the factory hardtop, and then we basically put this on as all one unit. From the factory, this customer ordered this top to be paint matched to match the rest of the truck. Standard, they come in kind of a textured Line-X material, but you can also get basically any color you want it painted. So it's really cool to be able to customize it. Some standard features are it does have the roof tracks up there, which we have a set of crossbars attached to, so you can mount some extra gear up on the roof. We also have some side mounts that'd be perfect for like a little shower cube off the back. And then on the other side, we also have some mounts that you can do an awning. What I think is the coolest thing about the Ursa Minor toppers is that they only weigh 265 pounds. So when you remove the factory hardtop and then put this on, you're only gaining 150 pounds off your basic Jeep, and you're getting a ton of great features for that weight. So I think that's really the big selling point of them, keeping everything nice and compact package and a really lightweight setup. And with overland vehicles, that's kind of the name of the game, keeping everything lightweight and nimble. So I think it's finally time that we get this popped open and show you around inside. Starting off up front, we have 2 latches on either side. So we just open these up, then we'll go to the other one on the other side. So we got those. So in the rear, we don't actually have external latches. It's all kind of in through this internal little pulley here. So all you do is give this a tug, and you'll hear a little pop. And it basically has 2 locator pins in the back, and basically pulling that just undoes the pins, and then from there you're ready to pop it up. So now that we have all the latches undone, this thing is super simple to open with the gas struts on it. You basically just push up on it and it'll start to take itself up. So I personally need a little step stool here, but so as you push up, the gas struts basically take over and the tent raises itself basically all by itself. But this is a really nice feature. You know, what we love about the Ursa Minor is really how easy it is to set up. It's almost exactly like a wedge style rooftop tent. One really cool feature about the Ursa Minor camper is that you actually access it through your Jeep. So there is this access panel that you remove, and then you basically climb up through the middle of the tent. So if it's bad or inclement weather outside, you don't have to worry about getting wet because you get in right through your Jeep. Once you're up inside the tent, you'll notice the ultra premium fabrics throughout. That's including the bed mattress as well as the entire tent fabric. Then we get a look at the 2 windows, giving you basically 180-degree views around the camper. Both those windows have bug screens. Also inside the sleeping area up here, you have a built-in light up on the roof, as well as built-in 12-volt USB ports, so you can stay charged up and have nice kind of ambient lighting if you're hanging out in here. One last thing I wanted to note is I really like the profile of how the Jeep looks with the Ursa Minor topper on it. It kind of gives it more like European, older, kind of like Toyota vibes. So even with the tent closed, I think this is a beautiful looking setup. So that's a wrap. Hit us up in the comments down below and let us know what you think about this build. If you're looking to get your Jeep built out in a similar way, go ahead and reach out to us at sales@mainlineoverland.com or go ahead and give us a call. But yeah, the Ursa Minor toppers are really awesome for the Jeeps. Really kind of lightweight truck camper, everything kind of all in one package. And if I had a Jeep, I would be definitely eyeing up the Ursa Minor topper. So go ahead, check those out on our website, and yeah, let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.